Right, Alex.
All right,
Hey,
and
mic
welcome
check.
along, folks. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. We apologize for the delay. We're coming at you a little bit into Q1 already.
Alright, sounds good. I would just adjust just the slightest bit to get a little bit more game audio over the thing, and then we're good to go.
All right, and welcome along to round 2 of the ARC F1 2023 season. I'm your host, Smug, joined with, once again in the booth, Astunik. Astunik, how we doing tonight?
Doing alright, doing awesome. Looking forward to this race. Jeddah, we obviously saw it, real life F1. Fastest street circuit on the planet, so hopefully living up to the expectations.
And we apologize for coming to you a little bit into the first session of qualifying. We had a bit of a technical difficulty, but we are up and running. We're good to go, and we're following along with Sean right now, Evids, as he puts in a lap.
It's a tough track. You see there, it just gets a bit. It's so hard to pin down a lap here, especially in qualifying. You're going for it. Again, you get the 18-minute qualifying session, so every lap counts, every set of tire counts. You don't get bumped out. It's all or nothing, and it's just so easy to get caught out just the slightest loss of grip. This track's super technical, so look for varying times throughout the race. So also probably most likely guaranteed a safety car this week.
This is the type of track, of course, where courage really seems to come into play. How ready and willing you are to get right up to that wall. As we see Matt Daly put down a nice lap here. He's getting comfortable with the wall already, and some drivers, they may not have that gumption. They may not have what they're feeling at the moment, the mojo, to be able to stick it all the way out to the wall, but those that do will be rewarded heavily for it.
I mean, yeah, you saw yourself in real life, 2021 Max Verstappen. Some would call it a dream lap, and just over the limit that little bit.
Oh, and we have a spin here from Matt Stotts. Mr. Spin and Win himself with the spin. He'll keep it going as the yellows do come out. Unfortunate for the starter. He did have a big moment, but he seems to be carrying along some front wing damage there. He'll have to go in for a replacement.
Yeah, and even worse so if it's, like you said, a set of tires rendered useless.
Sean Cosley of the McLaren should be the next across the line here. Coming in strong for the Hairpin Racing team. He had a pretty good showing our last GP in Bahrain. Make some space here. He may be laying off.
Yeah, that's a good out. We'll talk about another team that had a great race in Bahrain, Williams. I mean, obviously, beginning of the race, you saw them both at the front. And then, ironically, both of them spinning out. And then also, again, both of them making their way back into the fray of the things. I mean, you saw Al-Hasbi finishing second. I want to talk about Al-Hasbi for a second here, because last week we obviously had the reserve filling in, just walked away with it. But as a reserve, not going to be given the points. So if you want to say provisionally, so to speak, Alex, Al-Hasbi he won the championship. I talked to him earlier. It's his home race. He attended the race there this weekend, so he's feeling it. I talked to him. He's a load of confidence. He wants P1, P2, and he expects nothing less from Williams this season other than P1 and P2 in the championship as well. So high expectations. So look for Al-Hasbi to have a great race. You're always going to put it in. It's home race, and what do you want to do in front of your home crowd but take the victory in the top step of the podium?
It should be noted also, I know you mentioned pretty early, but the Williams last GP that we had here in ARC, they spun out from positions 2 and 3 down to 7th and 13th and managed to battle their way all the way back into the points. They clawed back for every position that they lost, and it was just really mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, and mind you, they did that. I believe that was a safety car free race, if I'm not mistaken. And they were able to manage to do that just on pace alone. So if they can match that pace or anything close to it, I don't see any other team out there right now. I know it's early days, but don't see another team out there that can really take the fight to them.
As we watch here as Julius Duku puts in a nice lap for Alpine. We did not see him in the first GP. This will be his inaugural GP of the 2023 ARC season for the Alpine team. Time starting to come up on the board, and we see Jurg put in a nice 128.9. However, still early in the session. We're sure to see those times drop quite tremendously as we go on in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, so half the grid here hasn't even put a lap in yet, so still early days. People just trying to nail their setups. But again, we saw a lot of laps that were initially started, Alex, but weren't ultimately finished due to spins, problems, wall touching, damage. So
it would appear so. We do have a couple trailing times down the board, but as you mentioned, they may be due to traffic or on-track incidents that may lend them to be better times as the session goes forward. We did see in the practice sessions beforehand, drivers were getting down to as low as a 128 flat. A lot of them were comfortable in the mid-129s. And we do have an incident.
There's a 5-place grid penalty here for, I think it's Kluka.
Looks like Kluka has an incident.
Contact with AJ. What?
He has retired from the session.
Does AJ have damage though? Yes, AJ's missing an entire wing. What did we miss and what has happened?
Oh, goodness. We didn't quite catch that. We apologize, but Kluka did retire from the session almost immediately. It seems like it was just a bad incident all around. AJ just limping it back into the pits to get a new wing on, and hopefully he can come out and...
Yeah, but here's the unfortunate... We got 8.5 minutes left. He's just barely made halfway around the circuit without a front wing. You can see the car absolutely shoving in the corners. You know, he's dying to get back to get a wing on there. He's losing time. He's going to get probably one run in here.
The rear wing as open as the front wing at the moment. We will see AJ duck into the pits, trying to scramble to get a front wing on soon enough to maybe put in 2, maybe a 3rd lap after this. We will go back to the other action on track as we see Stoddard also missing a front wing. Matt Stotts slowing up to make space. He is also missing a front wing in the same fashion as AJ. Can only imagine there was another incident involving that Ferrari.
Now, I can tell you this, though, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is on a heater right now. Fastest in Sector 1. He's absolutely on it right now with the Haas. I can tell you that he's on the limit, close to the wall, pushing. He's got the best time right now, but he's most certainly going to improve. He is on the limit. 200 down there. So quick on the brakes. It's so easy to make a mistake. Such a clean lap right now. See the second. I think we already got one. I don't know if it was fastest, but
we will see. It does not look like it will be improvement for Jurg.
Oh, he's ducking out of it.
He has come off the lap, into pits he goes, and we can see some of those other times down the board starting to drop a little into the 130s, some drivers into the 129s.
There it is.
As the Alfa Romeo of Jamie Knock comes to pole, provisional pole with 6.5 minutes remaining. And another yellow flag in Sector 3. All clear now. Seems to not have been a terrible incident. Time starting to come across the board.
So we can ride on board here with Al Hazmi, the hometown hero, as he sets his first lap. Fastest in the first sector. He's got traffic ahead. Oh, please get out of the way. He's going to be screaming into the... No harm, no foul there. Yellow flags in this sector, but I don't know what it's for. Has he put one together?
And he'll cross the line with a 29.1. Puts him in P4 at the moment. Has time for 2, maybe a third lap anyway, so...
Yeah, you gotta imagine he's probably gonna come in. They're on low fuel runs right now. They're gonna come in, new set of tires, and they'll just get out and be able to set another lap. But not a bad, it's a banker lap.
Teammate Mikey DeYoung seems to be on a heater of a lap already, over half a second up on his previous best.
Yeah, I also want to point out, Boriyoshi only 1/100th off of pole right now. Well, Tom Riddle, excuse me.
Mikey DeYoung will be the next to cross the line. We'll see what time he can put in. He will not. He will be ducking into the pits. Faked all of us. Half a second up, he seemed to have a moment that he must have backed out because of. Jake Scarborough out on the medium seems to be just taking it easy for now. He'll duck in for another set at the appropriate time. Who else? Matt Stott's back out with a fresh wing. We'll see what kind of time he can put in. He's yet to put a time on the board. We have another driver retired, so of the remaining, only 4 drivers have yet to put a time on the board.
Quite the few that have retired. Matt Daly, Fidel Fabi, Josh. Quite a few retirements.
With 4 minutes remaining in the session, I can't imagine AJ will be aiming for anything lower than, say, P7 or so, given the current situation.
Desi's fastest in Sector 1, though.
Ooh, he touches the wall. Has he backed out?
Telemetry says foot's still in it, so... I mean, this is it.
I can't imagine he feels he has much of a choice at the moment. Yeah, he has to just ride it out and see what he can put down and bring it around for another one when the time is allowable.
I mean, still P7, and he had massive contact with the wall there, so, but puts him in the top 10.
I'm sure he will be aiming for a front row on his next lap out. He feels that he could probably find another half second in that car, but we'll wait and see on that. As we move to EVIDS, Sean Cosley making space for the Alfa Romeo of Jamie Knock.
Yeah, I don't think Jamie Knock's on a lap here. You can see he's charging the battery. Not really sure who's going to cross the line. Push. Everybody's got their battery. Opposite is deployed.
We see yellows popping out. Lots of cars running wide. As the time winds down, this is the real bank lap that people are hoping for. They don't want to have to scramble for the buzzer beater lap. They want to put down their comfortable lap now so that when they have to come back out if the time allows, they will not be on a scramble.
Wait, I don't know if it's just my screen, but everybody I get on board right now, Jonathan Meyer on a set of purple sector 2, so we'll see if that translates.
Andrew Davis in the Alpine. It looks like Jurgensmeyer has taken pole with that lap by almost 3/10. Andrew Davis next across the line, it looks like. He's half a second up on his sector 2 time, so he may be laying down a good one here. Currently in P14, Andrew Davis will find himself P10. Into the 29s he goes. Not a bad lap at all.
Trying to see who's next coming across. I think Jake Scarborough is about to start his final lap.
It looks like Jake Scarborough will be the first to finish with this lap that he's starting. And we'll ride along with him for the first 2 sectors of it, see what he can pull out. currently sitting P12 with a 29.9.
AJ's invalidated his out lap, so I think that might be session over. Actually, how much time is left?
Got 40 seconds remaining as the yellows start to come out. Lots running wide.
Close.
Will AJ have the time to lay one down? Oh yeah, he'll be well across the line in time.
Into the top 5.
Tyler with a 29.0. Very nice lap from him. Quick retirement. Gonna make space.
Luke got across the line to start a second lap as well. Jake Scarborough would be the next one to come across the line to set final time.
Provisional poll as it stands. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer with a 28.5. We're following along with Al Hazmi in the Williams right now. He is up on his previous best. We will see if he's able to crack that top 3 maybe. And he's not able to improve. He'll sit P6 to start. As his teammate Mikey de Jong busts out a 28.8, puts himself P4. Very nice lap.
What do we got? Yeah, that was Julius crossing the line, going P12.
Following along with AJ, it does look like he's backed well out, and he crashes.
Oh, right.
Oh, what a moment. Oh. He ran well wide into the corner and just slams the wall almost head on. Oh.
Yeah, Luke's heart rate's got to be racing now, but he has to stay focused. The final corner for Luke Allen, trying to push, get himself out of the bottom half of the field.
Plenty of space being made for him. He's aiming for a P8, I'd imagine. And he cannot improve. He will stay P14 to start the Grand Prix. So, as it stands, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, your pole sitter for the 2023 ARC F1 GP in Saudi Arabia.
Oh no! Yoshi or Tom Riddle, 5-place grid penalty for blocking. I'm not sure if that's game telling us that. I'm not sure if you got that on your end as well, but
I don't see the same thing over here, but I guess we'll see that development unfold as the race begins. The session has technically ended. Anybody that is on their final lap is putting it in now. And with that, it is Jonathan Jurgensmeyer on pole for the Saudi Arabia GP.
That's strange.
The Alfa Romeo of Jamie Knock takes P2 on the front row, and then second row we've got Tom Riddle in the Red Bull and Mikey de Jong in the Williams. Sean Cosley of the McLaren takes P5, and Tyler of the Ferrari takes P6. A bit surprised to see Al Hazmi in the Williams down in P7. He will be fighting for as many positions as he can in the first stint, I imagine, because he will be expecting to run in the front for as long of the race as he can.
Yeah, maybe a bit of hometown jitters there during qualifying, but we saw his pace last week. Look for him to not to stay there long, I'd imagine, but remains to be seen. Turn 1 here. Well, Alex, will be interesting to say the least. You just got this short run down to the first corner, tight left corner, opens up to the right, and you see it time and time again. It's just end plates. It's going to be conservation here in the first couple of laps just to survive.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure we'll see plenty of racers play it pretty conservative into the first corner because of that reason. Just end plates aplenty when things get a little dicey in there.
The calm before the storm. I won't lie, I am excited to see Jeddah, though. There's nothing... Say what you will about Saudi Arabian GP, but it's beautiful.
I think it is
Seems
a great...
like something you'd want to go in person and see. Like, just sitting there. It looks
Being
great during the day too, you know.
being the second longest track on the calendar of F1, it does lend itself to some pretty great spots where you can sit primarily in the middle of the track and see the action as it comes down both lanes, north and south.
Yeah, you see the wonderful shots there during the. Whoa.
And it looks like we've had an error with the lobby.
Well, I am gonna go check in on that, and I will let you know.
Sure. We're just going to follow along with whatever develops from here, I suppose. I imagine that some of the drivers that retired from the qualifying session may not have come back in time to register for the race. So we will take a quick break to work this out, I imagine, and be back momentarily. All right, didn't seem to take long at all.
Nope, quick to the point was Luke Allen. Lobby error. Tom Riddle. AI took over after his lap, blocked the entire track. Qualified P3 was disqualified from the entire session. Messed up the entire lobby. We're going to do a lobby reset. We're going to set the grid manually because we have everything. So we're just going to remain patient. We'll get this going.
All right. Sounds good to me. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling that, like, when I saw that penalty, it didn't seem right because he had already crossed the line, and then he just received a penalty 35 seconds later. So you just knew that there was a bug. Heck, it's what you get sometimes with these games. You just not user error, but coding error.
Yeah, it does seem to be an issue with a lot of the sims that we find ourselves in.
Yeah. You take the good with the bad. You have to. Get great racing. Sometimes, you know, things don't always work. Just like a normal race. Sometimes your car doesn't work. Sometimes you get to lap 2, drive shaft's gone. Luckily, we were able to solve this before it happened in the race, because that would have been way worse, having to restart an entire race. But we get to fill some time. Trying to pull up the points, and my brain is not going to the right spot.
Pulling up last season's result for Saudi Arabia, it looks like we had AJ Nickel take P2. So we'll see what he can do from the position that he finds himself in, towards the middle of the grid. He seems to have some success here. I'm sure that'll be quite a battle for him to get as many positions as he can as well. Overall, though, what to watch for? What would you say are your main 2 points, or 3 maybe, of what to watch for today, Bill?
Well, for me, it's just the Williams. Can they replicate the drive they had last week? Because for them, you got to think it's a what if. I mean, obviously, great result. Let me actually see some real quick. Williams they lead the constructors, and remember, they both spun. Imagine what could have been if they had not spun.
Couldn't agree more. Another good point to mention, I'd say, is Ayrton Frederick in the Alfa Romeo is back into the mix. He was substituted for last week, and that substitute actually was our race winner, Liam Carrig. So we'll see how Ayrton Frederick can follow up that kind of performance in the Alfa Romeo, and that'll be interesting.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they're on the back foot now due to the fact that, while yes, the reserve driver stepped in and was able to get the points, those points don't count because they have 25. Wait, did they count? Because Alfa Romeo has 25 points to the good in the constructors, to Williams 28, so that's close right there. And obviously, this isn't real life, so we don't have to be surprised. But Haas are sitting there with 20. Obviously, only one race in, but Haas with 20 points. So, and we saw the qualifying effort from Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. So, hey, maybe we went in thinking we followed the confidence of Al Hasby with the, obviously the hometown spirit. It's just like Lewis showing up in Silverstone. They just want to win it so bad. It's got to be nervous. So, but I think ones to beat today might be Haas.
I have to agree. They seem to have decent experience at this track. They have the confidence to really send it towards the walls when necessary. Jake Scarborough himself finished in the points last season as well, taking P9, so I'm sure that they will be expecting pretty high placement today as the race progresses, and things may happen with the less confident drivers that may, facilitate some sketchy situations that they'll have to work through.
Was there a Williams driver in that race last season?
It looks like there were two Williams racers in last season's Saudi Arabia GP, one of which finished P14, not a terrible showing for the Williams. Looks to go by the name of Billy Tarji, with his teammate Al Hazmi taking P20 in the other Williams.
Yes, it was gutting. We were sitting there. I was talking to him before about how it was his home race.
Oh yeah,
involved with it at incident lap 1. That's what I mean. It could go, and he qualified up there as well too. So it was gutting, especially because being his teammate, I knew I didn't have the performance at the game. So P14, listen, in retrospect, I'll take that P14, and I'll just retire from the car and into the booth for obvious reasons.
Well, it goes without saying that a track like this really punishes even the smallest of mistakes, whether it's in ARC F1 or in real F1. We've seen time and time again that this track will just swallow you up. Those walls creep in a lot faster than you may expect at some corners.
Yeah, and all it takes is just, with the cars just so low, a curb can just grab the underneath of the car and just, there's no, oh my, for some reason on my screen, I swear to God I saw raindrops and my jaw dropped. And then I remembered we're in the desert, so.
Into the formation lap we go now, following along with Jamie Knock, who will be fighting from the front row, trying to pip Churg for that top spot. Into turn 1, I can only imagine that these will be the most active two in that zone. Others down the field may lay off quite a bit as they reach the corner and things ahead of them may start to progress, but I'm sure those top two will be fighting very hard into that first corner.
Yeah, surprising to see Aston Martin mired back in 9th and 10th here, but race pace, they seem pretty confident in practice speaking with each other. Strategy-wise, we'll see how it plays out. Both of them starting on the mediums. Actually, let's take a look at that. Let's go through the grid and see what people are starting on. It's got to be the medium here, I believe, would be the popular choice.
It looks like the medium is the popular choice. However, there are some hard tire runners in the top 10. 3 notably. Jamie Knock in P2 starting on the hards. Boryoshi in P3. Wow, that'll be interesting with him on the medium. See if he can get them fired up soon enough to make a pass early. Mikey DeYoung in the Williams.
On the hard.
It does seem so. They'll be playing the long game, but I trust their defense to hold them up pretty well as the laps progress, as tires start to warm up, and we see those mediums start to come alive a lot more significantly than we'll see the hards come to life.
Track is so hot, though.
It does look like it's going to be a hot one tonight. All right, as we approach the line. Racers will be taking their positions as we go down the grid. It looks like we are all in position and ready to begin. Lights are on. And it's lights out, and away we go with the 2023 ARC F1 Saudi Arabia GP. Jonathan Jurg gets away very well. Jamie Knock not even a threat to him into turn 1, and Boriyoshi just playing the scraps, it seems. He got away pretty well too, but not well enough to make any moves because of it. We see some passing further down. Everybody is scrambling, as we can see the the Aston Martin of AK Unleaded making up 3 positions already. And we do have an incident in Sector 1. The yellows are out. It will be Fabian.
And Dylan Thomas as well. Not sure if it was coming together. Seemed like separate incidents. I saw the Alpha Tower around first. Didn't quite get a glimpse of the McLaren. It's just so hectic through there. They seemed to keep it really clean and tidy through the first bit. But obviously when there's a car parked in the middle of the track, there's nothing you can do.
Does not appear to be any significant damage between either car. Jonathan Jurg on the mediums, already pulling quite the gap to Jamie Knock in P2. He is off and running.
Yeah, being clean air, new tires, softer tires. It's not the rules we had in the last decade or so where you need to take your qualifying tires and start on them in the top 10. You can use a free range of tires. And obviously, varying strategies through the field, but I mean, last week it was on the other foot. We saw the Alfa Romeo take off right from the go. It was almost seemingly not in question for the rest of the race, but
Tom Riddle in the Red Bull will be making the move on Jamie Knock. Jamie has relented. It seems that is not the battle he's fighting at the moment. Taking note of his tires more than anything, I'd assume.
Oh yeah, in order to make the strategy work on those hards, listen, I'm not saying you can't give up a position. We know as well as anybody in this sport, positions matter, points matter. There's so little to be gained in every race. But battling with these guys with the mediums, you're just going to destroy your hards. You have to make a sacrifice and a decision. Ooh, we got yellows.
Looks like we did have an early retirement, maybe an incident.
Safety car.
It does look like we've had an incident with the Alpine of Julius Duku.
And there it is. That was the almost guaranteed safety car that we predicted earlier.
It did come about a lap late. However, we will see the field bunch up, and things will get just as interesting as they did the first time around, believe you me.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any... It's not late enough into even anyone's stint at all to... Pit stops...
Pit stops will not be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a pit stop, it's obviously for damage, to change out a wing. I don't think it'll be a varying strategy. You're kind of handcuffed with what you started here, especially in a lap 2 safety car. So.
It's a bit too early to deviate. If anything, teams will be using this run plan with the safety car to maybe extend tires, extend battery, whatever necessary. They'll be harvesting as much as they can, but you will not see anybody probably ducking into the pits for any types of change beyond damage, as Billy mentioned.
You see one car ducking off.
It does seem we are back to racing conditions. The yellows have gone to green. Boriyoshi now getting chased down by the McLaren of Sean Cosley. And as we know, Tom Riddle is on those medium tires, so he may have found some life in them, but so is Sean Cosley. We've yet to see that battle unfold. Mikey de Jong on the hards, keeping pace with them easily, though. He has made the pass on Jamie Knock in the Alfa Romeo, so he does seem to have found some life already in them.
Yeah, and his teammate right behind him as well, looking to pounce. The Alfa Romeo looked like he might have touched the inside wall there, but all clean. Let's take a look at position change and see who's gone where.
The Aston of AK Unleaded, Mr. AJ Knickel, has moved up 3 positions already. Can't imagine that he's feeling very comfortable in P7. He will be trying to take at least P5 in this current stint. Who else? Luke Allen up 5 positions already to P9 in the Red Bull.
Josh up 6 as well.
Josh is up 6 positions in the AlphaTauri. Very impressive for him.
We see Sean go fastest. Some pace in the McLaren.
Watching along now is Matt Daly in the Aston Martin gets swung on the outside by Tyler Crabtree. They may have come together.
Oh, no space given. The elbows are out early. Lap 4, boys. Let's settle down.
Matt Daly does find his way back in. However, things are getting a bit dicey, and it looks like Andrew Davis has gone around in that incident. Oh, wow. It was getting a little dicey going in there.
He threw a bunch of firecrackers into a metal tin there. You were expected to get loud banging. No safety car. Able to save the car there for Andrew, but he's missing end place. He'll have to pit. Downforce is huge. You can't turn here without it, so that's going to cost some time back to the back of the grid for him.
After everything that did transpire there, Tyler Crabtree did end up with a penalty for a maneuver on Matt Daly that cost him 3 seconds.
I know anything. Oh, more yellow flags.
Yellows are out. It looks like
VSC. Not quite sure what that's for.
It looks like it was Kluka in the Mercedes. He is missing a front wing at the moment, so I can only imagine he ran into some trouble.
Again. That's unfortunate for the Mercedes reserve. Oh yeah, he's not only missing a bit of front wing, it's all gone. Tyler Crabtree takes advantage, ducks into the pit. Yep, front wing change for him. He'll go on the hard and extend that stint as long as he can. Pray for another safety car at the end.
He will serve that penalty early, interestingly enough. Trying to just get it out of his system, get it out of the way. Back to the track, he'll join in P16.
It was a reviewable offense. Oh, when we got Matthew Stotts with a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car conditions.
Oh, and that is just terrible. He will have to come in on the next lap to serve that.
Within the next 3, I believe, but either way, that is costly. Oh, Kuka just, from bad to way out, he's having an Esteban Ocon Bahrain race. He just called it quits. The man was begging to get in here and makes his early exit. We're going to call it an aggressive sit down by him instead of the rage quit.
The Mercedes will call that car back in as we return to racing action. Tyler Crabtree yet to serve his penalty. Matt Stotts, as mentioned, with his drive-through penalty. That'll be interesting to see him serve because he will be joining, looks like, a little bit behind Andrew Davis in P17, and he'll be battling back in that Ferrari. Moving up the grid, though, we see the Williams. The Williams nearly side by side as Mikey de Jong makes the move on Sean Cosley in the McLaren for P3. And it
AJ
will be
receiving
track
a 3
limits.
seconds. Yeah, they're gonna get you here because here's the thing: if you're losing the car, it's better to take a 3 second than you now only have 3 wheels attached. These walls come up quick and fast, and you don't want to overcorrect. Snap oversteer can be a killer, as we saw what happened to 2 of our retired drivers. But the Williams being strong, quick out of the gate.
Al-Hazmi making up time to that McLaren in P4, currently sitting P5. He will be battling to get into the podium positions with his teammate Mikey de Jong, who himself is probably fighting for the win at this point in his stint.
See, Donovan Jurgenmeyer's absolutely just, he's in a league of his own right now. For Yoshi looking to close the gap. Oh yeah, I also just remembered the Williams made this move on the McLaren, and they're on the harder compound tire too.
They did, it seems. Yeah, Sean Cosley on the mediums might be struggling a little. Maybe it was a specific shakeup that he may have. Yes, it looks like Al-Hazmi will have the DRS on the McLaren of Sean Cosley, looking to make the move fast. He'll not. He'll follow him all the way through for a late move.
Yeah, unfortunately, McLaren still has the DRS from the Williams in front of him, so it's cat and mouse right now. Just gotta wait for the driver to make a mistake and capitalize on it. Sometimes it's all you can do, especially in a circuit like this.
And another penalty.
Thick and fast.
It seems the track limits are tough to abide by with the race conditions. Cars maybe not equipped the same way they were throughout the practice sessions and qualifying, maybe feeling a bit different under race pace. Al-Hazmi right up on that McLaren of Sean Cosley. He'll be looking to make the move probably within the next 2 laps, if possible, on those hard tires. If he's unable, I imagine he'll have to just drop back and play out the stint.
Yeah, it's important too that his teammate of Mikey's broke DRS, so it's gonna free up Al-Hazmi to get him in a DRS zone. We got 2 more before the end of this lap, so we'll see if he does it. We'll see if he does the old Max Verstappen trick, cat and mouse with it, or if he just goes for the move outright and trying to get it done as fast as possible.
Looks like we have had an incident involving Josh in the AlphaTauri. He has dropped a few positions because of it, already holding that penalty that he will have to serve his next time in also.
3 seconds we don't have to serve. But oh, here we go. Yeah, DRS is just so strong here. Nothing Sean could do there. Just a spectator in his own car.
Al-Hazmi does make the move as those Williams aim higher up the grid. Currently sitting P3 and P4. They'll be chasing down Tom Riddle in the Red Bull next.
Gaps pretty much remain the same between the top 2. Oh no, it's so hard. It really is. I know they redesigned the cars, but being behind in these tight corners, winding corners, low speed, the air off the front nose, it creates some turbulence. I mean, yes, it's better than past years, but it still understeers the car a lot, and that's where you see track limit penalties come from as well.
Jamie Knox still on his hard tires. Looking to make a move on Sean Cosley, it seems. May look to capitalize, and he does. He takes the inside on Sean Cosley into the corner. Does make it stick on the hard tires. Jamie Knock into P5.
That's interesting. We're seeing the hard tire use just find success early in his stint, so...
Jake Scarborough looks to be the next one that wants to swallow up Sean Cosley. He wants a piece of that pie also. He seems to be finding the outside. Also on hard tires, as we noted. The Haas did start the race, both on hards. However, it does look like Jake's on mediums, actually. Looks like I'm incorrect.
Williams on, yeah. Oh, and Williams on Williams. Al-Hazmi up into the podium positions.
As we see Sean Cosley duck into pits, maybe looking for an undercut, making the early pit stop.
Yeah, there's no damage. Yeah, he's right on the hards. He's seeing the pace.
Well, all that's left for the Williams is to work with each other, maybe, to try to gain some time on the car ahead. Mr. Tom Riddle in the Red Bull.
Yeah, Matt Haley all over the back of Luke Allen in the Red Bull. Just biding his time. You can see the rear end of the Red Bull just squirrely through there. I think the question, Alex, is who's going to get to the 6-second penalty? Oh, never mind. It was Ayrton. Question answered.
Ayrton James in his season debut for the Alfa Romeo. Currently holding down P13, but as mentioned, also holding down a 6-second penalty.
Matt Daly, this replicates Talladega almost. Luke with a massive, I'm not sure if it's tail end of the block, but gearbox to nose. See how Luke defends this.
Luke does hold the inside pretty well. Matt Daly rear wing wide open as he gets the DRS down the straight. Is there?
Enough.
It will not be enough.
Oh, Luke's got that straight. Whoa.
And it looks like we do have another VSC out. Tough to tell who for this time around.
Oh, this is a full safety car. Safety car is out of the pit. Sean's not careful. Safety car is going to run into the back of that McLaren.
Ooh.
I don't have any retirees. I'm looking around for damage anywhere.
The safety car seems to be just stopped on track.
Yeah, it's waiting to pick up the leaders.
Waiting to pick up the leaders, correct. As we see some of the back markers making their way around it.
Andrew was in the pit, full wing change, had nothing left. I don't know if this could be a debris safety car, but without any retirees, there's no clear victim. But this is going to change a few things. We are deep enough into the stint now where pit stops, differing strategies. I don't know if this hurts the hard runners, you know what I mean? It's just, I feel it's too late to come off of the hards.
Yeah, I can imagine that being this deep into the stint that they would really want to relent.
But these medium tires runners, it's kind of, oh, as we see, Williams in the pit. Did he stay out? No, everybody's in.
Race leader Jonathan Jurgensmeyer into the pit on his mediums. As we see Borioshi, Tom Riddle in the Red Bull also into the pit. Going to hards, he'll probably be looking to ride out the rest of the race on that set. Jake Scarborough into pit, as is AJ Knickel and Luke Allen. Wow, it seems most of the field is coming into the pit on this run.
And it also helps out Jurgensmeyer as well. Jurgensmeyer is able to pit from the lead, stay in the lead, get onto the hards. But here's the thing, the Williams, who we saw with the pace on those hards, they're going to now have to push. That's 13 laps. You know what? It's doable. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say without, because we saw the pace with the hards from the Williams, but we also saw the pace from the Haas on the mediums. And now those shoes are on the other feet, so to speak. And I guess now it's all about just seeing. No one went to softs, did they? No one stopped coasting.
It doesn't look like we have anybody.
That would be. That's a full set.
A lot of swaps to the hard tire in the middle of the field, it seems, as the race leader and Tom Riddle of the Red Bull and P3 currently also made the decision to. Al Hazmi.
Scarborough getting a 5-second time penalty. I believe that was for speeding. That's going to hurt. The Haas looked really good, looked strong, qualifying, race pace is there.
As it currently stands, it seems that both Williams elected to run the medium tire for this stint, while both Haas have elected to run the hard, as have the Red Bulls.
You're obliged to obviously run the two different compounds, and I think I overthought it. I think these strategies kind of play in to each other's hands. Maybe it was the right time for both of them to come in, because I think the mediums can make it to the end easily as long as you take care of the tires. But it's going to be important for Matty DeJong. If he's going to make a pass for the lead, he's going to have to do it quick so he doesn't damage those medium tires, because he has to take them the longest. So
Matty DeJong pitting from P2 down to P6 at the moment, so it will be interesting to see him.
I'm sorry, I'm talking Al Hazmi. Yeah, I got my Williams mixed up.
Al Hazmi, can't imagine he'll be looking to make anything short of a spectacular move within the first 2 laps after the safety car comes in.
I don't disagree at all there. It's got this is the stage you want to get it done, especially after last season. We spoke, couldn't even make it through the first lap, and here he is with an opportunity that only one can really think of. Can't sit here and think Alex standing on the top podium of COTA, Miami even, how that would feel for us. Can't imagine what he's feeling.
Well, knowing well enough yourself, would you rather be in the position to be defending on hard tires for this stint, or would you rather defend on mediums for this stint, the remaining 14 laps?
as a driver, I want to be right where Al-Hazmi is, attacking with the fresher tires. He's going to be released. He only has to do 12, and if he can clear the Haas, that's going to be key right there. Because even if he gets clear and then the Haas has to try and battle back, all that's going to do is damage those hearts. I would want to be where Al-Hazmi. I would not want to be the one defending, especially you don't have the DRS. We know the long straights here. I believe one of them's almost 2 kilometers long. And straight is a loose term here. They're not really straights, but these corners aren't much of a corner to an F1 car. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity to do it, and obviously what Martin would say is we don't get it for the first 3 laps, but slipstream is still just as good. Oh my, I did not just see that. I did not just see, but that had to have been lag. There's no way I just saw that.
You saw what I saw, right?
Yeah, I'm sitting here right now thinking that the Haas warmed the tires up and Grosjean'd it, but then immediately kind of just morphed the front. So I'm just going to pretend it was a netcode error, and the leader of this race who's been dominating does not have wings. I can't get a good shot, but it doesn't look it.
Safety car is in as Jurgensmeyer does take off and builds himself a nice little gap, already half a second to Al-Hazmi in P2. Boryoshi did not get the takeoff he was hoping for. A second down on Al-Hazmi in the Red Bull right now. He'll be defending Jamie Knock in the Alfa Romeo going into the first corner.
Yeah, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer weaving as somebody who's making a quilt down the front straight. Constantly leading. He knows what pressure he's underneath with the newer tires behind him, and he's got to understand how hungry Al-Hazmi is for this win. He's got to get going, but Al-Hazmi is not letting go of the rear of that Haas.
Al-Hazmi keeping within half a second off the restart. Boryoshi already down 1.3. Jamie Knock looking to swallow him up right here. Oh, Jamie Knock not quite enough into this corner. He will be looking to stick the inside on that Red Bull on the hards at the soonest possible moment he can, though. Back to the front as we see Jurgensmeyer holding a decent 7/10 lead up on Al-Hazmi at the moment. Al-Hazmi does seem to have let off whatever initial push he was taking, maybe nursing the tires.
Sean in the McLaren is around.
Oh, Sean has
had a moment. Doesn't look like any damage, just some scuffed up hards, I'll tell you that, and stained tracksuit.
I'd imagine so. If there's any tire to scuff up in that kind of way, though, I think he'd want to be on the hards for that situation.
Look at this. Watch. Jonathan Jurgens gonna have to weave. Jurgensmeyer's gonna be weaving.
Back to the front. He's not weaving. DRS not yet enabled as Jurgensmeyer does drag Al-Hazmi down into turn 1.
You gotta think too, if they're fighting at the front, that's gonna allow these two here, Tom Riddle and I always forget his name. I apologize. Jamie Knock all over the back of the Red Bull.
Tom Riddle does seem to be dropping half a second off those lead 2 after the restart. Jamie Knock still not able to make the move on the medium tires with Tom Riddle on the hards. And another penalty given to Tyler Crabtree. That's 6 seconds, I believe, now. Oh, that
Mikey
Williams
de Jong
of Mikey de Jong.
Yeah,
he's right there. Oh, goodness, he's really sending it. Getting right up in the back plate of the Alfa Romeo of Jamie Knock. Swings it a little wide.
Don't think you could have stuck a piece of paper between that Pirelli and that wall there.
Wow, what a battle this is going to shape up to be. Jamie Knock might have kissed the wall on that one. Mikey de Jong is gaining very slightly. Both fighting on the medium tires, though. We'll see which one is willing to stretch them thin faster than the other.
It's weird you look right now, Alex. We've got Al-Hazmi going against Jurgensmeyer at the front. Still no DRS, but there's going to be a massive slipstream down the straight here. But it's just so much top-end speed. It must be trimmed out. Oh, gaining. But ultimately, he can't be there. He's going to... You had to imagine if he had DRS there, the move's done and dusted.
As we just saw,
the third is heated.
The Red Bull of Tom Riddle has just laid down the fastest lap of the race so far. Alfa Romeo of Jamie Knox still hot on his heels. Mikey de Jong drop back just a little bit. May want to pick up the straps in case anything detrimental happens to the cars ahead of him. He was really right up on the back of Jamie Knox, though. It looked like if anybody was to have an incident, it was going to be Mikey de Jong into Jamie Knox, but he seems to have worked that out.
This plays wonderfully into the advantage, though, of Johnson, Jergenmeyer, and Riddle here, because they're the ones on the hard. They can defend. They can defend hard. It's not going to take the tire life out of the hard. The guys behind them in the dirty air just destroying the mediums. If they couldn't make the move we talked about, it's going to be so hard to maintain those mediums to have any bit of pace to keep up at the end of the race. So you got to get the move done early.
Tom Riddle in the Red Bull has already made up a second that he originally dropped off the safety car coming in to the lead two, Al Hazmi and Jonathan Jergensmeyer. Only within 8/10 now. He's made up quite a bit of time the last lap.
He's absolutely drained the battery, whereas Al Hazmi deploying the battery, full battery DRS. You got to imagine this is it right here.
And can he make it stick? It does look like he's made the move on Jergensmeyer for the lead.
Oh, we got trouble. Who is that? Matt Daly might have gone around. Dylan involved as well. Apologies to the midfield. We would love to put you on camera, but this fight at the front is just too good to walk away.
Al Hazmi will be looking now to build that lead out on the medium tires that he elected to run off the last safety car stint. Jergensmeyer hoping to hold on to P2, I suppose, at this point. Just wait until later on in the session. See if in the later lap.
Oh, that Josh is out of the race here. Tell me this is not a full safety car. That is absolutely not.
It looks like it's going to be a full safety car for the AlphaTauri of Josh. Oh, he looks like he's had quite the incident.
He has not had the start to his rookie campaign here in our Formula One that he was hoping for. But as we discussed earlier in the practice sessions, he did say that anything above 19 and 20th is a better spot than where they finished previously here. So, but probably P17, not the one he was looking for.
As we can see, biggest movers across the grid is Al Hazmi moving up 6 positions to P1. Luke Allen in the Red Bull as well, moving from P14 to P8 through the progression of this Grand Prix. Matt Stotts in the Ferrari moving up 4 positions from P16 to P12. And Sean Cosley with a costly spin for Cosley moves down 11 positions from P5 to P16.
Luke Allen into the pits. Oh, he's being held
we are
up.
Seeing...
Oh, that's
no.
going to cost him so much time there.
He does come back out, albeit he is behind AJ Knickel after that pit run. He probably wasn't expecting that to be the case.
Let's see, we got Crabtree, AJ, Allen, Andrew, Matt Stotts all electing to go to the soft tire here. Not many laps left. What does that do to the top 7 here, though, especially?
So the P5 to P7 I'm mostly worried about. However, Mikey de Jong I feel is the cutoff point. If any of those soft tire runners can get up to Mikey de Jong, that's when I'd be worried.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've seen it isn't exactly been difficult to pass here without the aid of the DRS so tight, especially going through Sector 2. Yeah, it's fast. It's a wonderful amount of speed you're gaining, but the dirty air off the car in front of you and that going back car to car to car, it only tightens up the car. Massive understeer. It's hard to stay locked to someone's bumper. And that's where the advantage of the next DRS zone, like you see right here, coming out here, pop it open. But we're seeing most of the moves being done going into the final corner or the first corner. Not much anybody's been able to do outside of those 2 spots. Gotta say though, Tyler, you saw the trouble early, you saw the penalties, but he's the first car on brand new tires, and they're the softest compound to run.
He is well suited to be reaching ahead into the positions ahead of him for a better finish than that which he'd expect from where he's sitting right now.
And of course, too, you can't trust penalties. Obviously, you can appeal things. So if you're somebody sitting there and thinking, oh, I'll let him through. He's got a penalty. I'll just end up getting. That's not a guarantee. You got to fight for every position. The penalties do not exist. It's got to be a dogfight. We're gonna get a good old sprint here to the end too. So I'm not sure if there's one to go with the safety car. I don't think it's a NASCAR thing where the lights go out.
It does seem like it. From P8 to P11, just keep your eyes on these soft tire runners as we restart here. Following along with Al-Hazmi of the Williams, currently P1. Most interesting to me in this final stint will, however, be Juergensmeyer on the hard tire, currently running P2, everybody around him running the medium.
Yeah, and those medium tires runners they've been given reprieve these last couple laps. They've been able to conserve those tires, keep them warm, keeping them in optimal race condition. It's the fall off we predicted earlier in the first safety car session, what do you call it, period. I don't think it's going to really matter that much anymore. It kind of, safety car really neutralized everything. But it is F1, expect anything, especially in league racing.
As we wait to get back underway, looks like they're finishing up clearing off the track from their previous incident involving the AlphaTauri of Josh. Safety car will be coming in this lap.
This is going to be well worth it.
And it is on the go of Al-Hazmi that we will get going.
What do you do here, Alex? You wait you gun it out of the corner, or you make them wait for Stappen away?
I think you make them wait. I think it's too heavily expected that you'll gun it out of the corner. If he was smart, he would wait. As he is, he's giving it a little extra moment.
He's caught them napping. That was nobody.
A brilliant start from Al-Hazmi. Already builds quite a gap to Juergensmeyer. No chance to be caught into
side by side.
Mikey de Jong passes Jamie Knock for P3. They are still tangling, it looks like. May have been some contact there. Yellow flag is out for the moment. Back in it goes.
Yoshi. Tom Riddle down the order, unfortunately for the Red Bull driver.
It looks like he may have had a spin. Maybe some contact involved as we see penalties start to be assessed for Sean Cosley and Jake Scarborough.
We're already see Tyler Crabtree fighting for P4. This took no time whatsoever. Down the old side pod to side pod.
Can he make the move stick? Oh!
I'm so close.
That was wheel to side pod without a doubt. Oh! Jamie Knock has had a spin from P4, I'm sorry. Jamie Knock has spun down the order to P16.
Oh, that...
A little too much excitement onto the throttle coming out of that corner. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Quite the development here. Tyler Crabtree sitting real pretty in P4 now.
Yep.
Moving straight up on those soft tires.
Away. DRS won't be a factor for the Williams. He got the gap we needed. That was the perfect start. He caught us off guard, let alone the drivers that he's competing against. I didn't expect that. I expected him to get to the line to just take away as much slipstream as possible. The rest of the grid was napping.
And he's already built himself up nearly a 2-second lead over the hard tire Haas of Jonathan Juergensmeyer.
Oh no.
Another yellow has come out.
Yep. Wing damage to the right front wing there of Matt Stott's. Not the race he was looking for.
Down the order he will fall as Tyler Crabtree is looking to make the move on Mikey de Jong. He will settle out for this corner specifically. Mikey de Jong running the mediums with Tyler Crabtree moving straight up the order on those softs.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're Mikey Young, you cannot rely on the fact that Tyler has penalties here, and the fact that you know that your teammate is leading the ground. You have to, what would Alonso say? Defend like a lion. Do not let that Ferrari by, because that could smell trouble for your teammate who's in a position to stretch his legs in the championship and take the win in his own track.
AJ Knickel quietly up to P5
Yeah,
after the restart.
That has me, but that gap is down to way less than the 1.9 we were seeing earlier.
It is. He's lost nearly a second on the previous lap. Still maintaining enough of a gap to prevent any DRS. However, DRS is not enabled until this exact moment, so we may see some moves being made, especially by Tyler Crabtree, trying to make the move around the outside after originally going for the inside on the Williams of Mikey de Jong.
He's just got so much more brake than the guy in front of him. He had to make that move, but he just, like I said, that Williams has got to defend and put his car about 2 meters wider than it is.
The Williams of de Jong certainly does have his work cut out for him, as Tyler Crabtree picks up another penalty, possibly up to 9 seconds total.
Hey,
we've yet to see.
AJ too, P5 is in there with the soft tires too. These are the two soft runners that take advantage the most with the fact of, well, we also had the spin of the Alpha and a few other problems with Tom Riddle as well, so, but taking advantage nonetheless.
It seems that we're running real tight as we have the Ferrari of Matt Stotts pull over, and Tyler Crabtree is retired from the session.
Yeah, that is a mess back here. Riddle.
Oh, man.
Ayrton James, Sean, there's a plethora of cars is how I could describe it back here. all for the last point.
Fighting with only about 30 feet of width at the track at that point to work with. As we do see
Riddle down the inside of Sean. Yeah.
Dylan Thomas around the outside also of Ayrton Frederick on that previous corner. Very nice move. Ayrton will be looking to make the move back into this one.
Alex, I got to point out to you, though, the Haas is all over the back of the Williams, and the Williams all over the back of the Haas.
Oh, it
and
does.
AJ up into P4.
AJ very quietly fighting for a podium position.
His penalties may hinder that, though, but he's just got to fight, and he's on the preferred tire at the moment. Oh, more yellow flags. That's Sean around.
It was Sean. It looks
and
like
that's a retirement on track. That is not allowed. That.
And it looks like Matt Daly may have had to take a penalty just to maneuver around Sean.
Yeah, that should be disallowed. Gentleman retired on track, but either way.
Wow, what an excellent final few laps we'll have here. Barring the final two, all gaps, it looks like, are within just about 1 second, except just maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, Jake Scarborough's all over the back of AJ here, on the hearts. But he deployed all of the battery. Look at the game being played. He knows he's going to have a better run out of the corner with the DRS. Nothing AJ can do here except, yeah, sit and duck almost here.
It does look like AJ is harvesting. Jake Scarborough will take the inside on him. Going into the first corner. Can he make it stick? Not quite. Those hard tires, not quite enough.
It's just negating the fight.
Moving up to Mikey de Jong all over the back of Jurgensmeyer, as well as we have another yellow flag come out. Maybe minor incident.
Back going again. The best thing Asby wants to see right now is his teammate get to the back of that Haas and cause problems. He's got to get him thinking something other than trying to attack him.
Mikey de Jong looking to hold his position, getting within half a second of Jurgensmeyer on the last lap. Still looking to maintain that 2-second gap over AJ behind him on the soft tires as well.
It's just, you love to see it. drivers at the top of their game, at the edge of the limit, pushing for everything. This is what we sign up for. This is why we show up every week. This is F1. This
Jake
is
Scarborough
awesome.
looking to make the move on the outside of AJ. Does he have enough? Not quite. He will keep it somewhat alongside going into the next corner. AJ does have just enough to keep him out. Jake Scarborough, though, looking inside now with the DRS. And he has plenty of power to work with to get past AJ Nickel on that one. Running the hard tires over AJ's softs. We'll see if he's able to defend that position.
13-lap-old hards compared to 7-lap-old softs. A bit confusing, but maybe there's something going on with AJ's car. A bit of wing damage, even the slightest bit of wing damage could alter it, or floor damage, but we don't know the full story. But we got a battle at the front.
Jurgensmeyer, it seems, on a full deploy lap. We'll see if he's wasting his ERS a bit too early, but it seems he deployed quite a bit to catch up to the back of Al-Hazmi on that lap.
It's got to be worth it. You have to do everything you can right now. The time is now. There's no time left.
Still maintaining over half a second gap to Mikey de Jong, currently sitting P3.
Yeah, Mikey's, you gotta see him get up closer. He's gotta enter it if these two get together. He wants to be able to capitalize. Anybody goes off the slightest bit, he's gotta capitalize too. Cat and mouse games here.
Jurgensmeyer looking outside, not quite enough though. He'll duck it tight and look to get the better exit over Al-Hazmi. With the DRS, does he have enough?
He's got to defend the inside, and he's got to imagine the Haas going to back up the inside. Oh, and he does!
And
you have to see that coming.
Oh, and there's contact!
Was he given enough room? Was he not given enough room? That remains to be questioned, but his teammate right behind... Oh!
Quite the battle ensuing
here.
Mikey de Jong runs into the back of Al-Hazmi on the final lap. Seems to be only light contact, though. They are still moving. However, they did just drop quite a bit of time to the leader, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer.
We're going to have to leave that up to the court of the opinion of the people. I mean, if you were Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, you had to make the move. I didn't get a good angle to see how aggressive it was, but nonetheless, he's the lead. Oh, no! Mikey de Jong again for the second race in a row.
Mikey de Jong has a consequential spin. Oh, he's falling down the order from P3. Finds himself currently P8 after that spin. And there will not be enough in the tank for Al-Hazmi to catch Jonathan Jurgensmeyer on this final lap. Pushing with all he can.
Unwrapped for Williams here in 2 laps time.
See, and it was mentioned last week that maybe it was best for them both to have their spins very early in the race to get it out of their system. It seems having it so late in the race is what's going to cost them more than anything. As we follow along with Jonathan Jurgensmeyer coming across the line and winning the 2023 ARC F1 Saudi Arabia GP. Al-Hazmi of the Williams taking P2.
Where did Riddle come from?
And of course, as mentioned before, it will take some time for penalties to be assessed after this race, so barring any major changes, the order as it stands for the top 3 at least looks pretty solid. However, the rest of the order may change over the coming hours as penalties are assessed. But with that, we have your 2023 ARC F1 Saudi Arabia GP winner, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. P2 to Al-Hazmi of the Williams, and P3 to Tom Riddle of the Red Bull.
Shout out to FBI. Wow, Alice.
What a race. That was exciting from start to finish. We saw many different strategies, many different run plans employed. And in the end, it was that of the Haas that came out on top.
We were treated to a good one there. Like, I'm trying to think of something to say. I'm trying to find the right thing to say, but all I can say is just, from my point of view, I had the best seat in the house, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. That was a good race. Shout out to the drivers. What a race from Jurgensmeyer. You had to make the move. It's aggressive. It's Hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and sometimes dogs gotta eat. And the Haas team ate today. That's for sure.
Wow, what an excellent race. Make sure to stay posted with incidents as they are reported and worked through to see what we can manage for a final leaderboard. But as it stands right now, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer of the Haas, the winner. Al Hazmi of the Williams takes P2. Bor Yoshi of the Red Bull P3 with Fabian McLaren P4. AK Unleaded of AJ Knickel manages P5 from P10 off the start of the GP. That is a great finish for him. Mikey de Jong recovering to P6 after spinning out of P3. Luke Allen moves up 7 positions to P7. Andrew Davis takes P8 in the Alpine. Dylan Thomas of the AlphaTauri takes P9. And Jake Scarborough, 2 years running, P10, scores points in his running of the Saudi Arabia GP.
A lot of retirements here. This was a war of attrition, it seemed, though.
Quite a race. We thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you for the next race on the calendar of the 2023 ARC F1 season. This is Smug, signing off.
Have a good night, everyone.